Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Untitled Chapter. I believe this is episode 10 of season 3. So I just want to say we are, by the looks of it, we've got technology working on our side tonight. If there is any issues, I will obviously correct them as we go. But it looks like it's all working at the minute, which is a nice change, isn't it? I think we're going to stay watching the tanks tonight. You might get a chance to see me a little bit later on. I've got a few announcements and a few things I'm going to talk about and whatnot, as well as we're going to have a little interview beforehand and possibly a quiz later. So if you want to join in for the quiz, stick about for that after the interview. We're going to have help, not permission. Does that mean that you can't get on it, Katrina? Because if we are meant to be having Katrina come in on the show tonight, but it looks like that might be our issue of the night. We always have at least one issue every night, every episode, so that might well be our one tonight. We might, I don't know. But whilst we're working on that, I'm just going to talk to you about a few other things. As you know, I got myself a colony of Formica. Right, Formica, I can't even remember which one it was now, but I got my colony of Formica. They're available on my shop. I couldn't help myself. You know what it's like. Yeah, they're just amazing. Like, so active, so inquisitive, so aggressive. Like, they're still in founding stage. There's only probably 10 to 15 workers, but they're so active already compared to some of the other colonies I've got, which in this founding stage are still quite timid. These just go for it. Like, the minute you put food in, they don't necessarily just go for the food. They're looking for the way you put it in. Like, they know the enclosure's been open, sort of thing. Really, really cool ants. Like, really smart, really amazing. I highly recommend getting Formica, and that's not just because I sell them. I always wanted to get a colony of Formica because you see them out in the woods and things, and they have these massive nests, and they're super cool. But you know what I mean? I never had that chance to get. I always looked at them and I thought, well, they spray formic acid quite severely. Do I want to risk that with my bad chest issues? And it always kind of put me off. And then I thought about all the other ants that I keep, and I thought, well, I may as well have them because I've got them anyways. But yeah, absolutely awesome. Chuffed to bits with Formica. So if you're looking for like a medium-sized ant, they're smaller than a Camponotus, obviously. They're about the same size as the Polyrhacus dives, actually, which is really nice. They're really inquisitive, aggressive, really active, like I say. If you're looking for an ant of that sort of size and feature, then Formica might well be for you. They do have a tendency to like gas themselves. And by that, I mean they spray too much formic acid and it literally poisons them in their own enclosure. I've just had a little intruder. My youngest daughter has just come in and is running rampant. And there's the wife trying to, corral her crisps. That's how it's done. Brilliant. Yeah, she's gone. Hopefully, like, we normally lock the door, believe it or not. We've got a lock on that outside because it just gets a bit hectic around here. You know how it is. Right, have you seen, right? This is crazy random. The camera's moving, isn't it? That's not me. Nothing is touching the camera. It's either a crazy ghost or my phone doesn't like it. I have no idea why it does it. Not a clue, but it's definitely on the move, isn't it? If anyone gets seasick, I apologize. It's not intentional. So it's not even me touching it. I am literally 2 or 3 feet away from that camera. Not a clue what is going on. If anyone can explain to me that, feel free. You might know why, like, if you know technology, you might be able to, I don't know. Who likes seeing... Katrina, I literally cannot look at Messenger at the minute, I don't think. Give me 1 second, I'll see. I'll have to switch onto this camera for 5 seconds, which is actually good quality for once. Is that, I don't know, well, it's not too bad quality. for what it is. But I don't know what it's like for you. I don't think I can. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to get on Messenger, Katrina. If you can't make it on tonight, we will definitely sort it out for you to come back, and I will just do my little chat bit for now. It's not an issue. Like I say, it would be absolutely amazing to have you on, Katrina, but sometimes technology doesn't work my way, as we know. I have the luck of the Irish, but all the other Irish have the good luck, and I've got the bad luck. You know, we've got to share it out equally, but I get all the bad luck. Not all the bad luck. There's a lot of bad luck in Ireland. Right, so I'm currently on a diet. I say a diet, like I'm back on my strongman diet, aren't I? So I'm just eating everything. I've got a full chocolate cake next to me. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. And I'm drinking an energy drink just because I need the energy to keep me going. But yes, that's what I'm on at the minute. But I got home with my energy drink, and it's like been busted in the bottom, big massive bulge, and it won't even stand up properly. How did I not notice that? Or did I do it myself? I don't know. It's really annoying though. So I've had to put my can of energy drink into a cup. Now, I'm not drinking it from the cup. The whole can is in the cup just to stand up. I don't like the idea of pouring an energy drink out into a cup, trying to make it more like civilized or whatever. Let's be honest, these things are horrible rocket fuel. Really bad for your stomach, really bad in general. I wouldn't recommend drinking them to anybody. So if you're like listening to me drinking them, think, oh, that's a good idea. It's really not. Don't drink energy drinks. They're horrible. I have a slightly different scenario where I don't have to worry too much about my longevity of health, we could say. So don't drink energy drinks. They're awful. Katrina has just entered the studio. We're just waiting for a microphone to be attached, and we will be good to interview by the seams of it, which is really cool. I've hoped you all really enjoying the diacama tonight. Diacama are obviously the Asian bullet ants. They prefer live prey. So what I do is I normally rip the heads like off pretty much of the roaches or whatever I'm feeding, and that way it's still an easy battle for them, but it gives them the sensation of hunting the live prey. And as you can see, they go from their solitary hunter mode to group tear it apart mode, and it's really, really cool the way they do it. They're quite large ants as well. Not too hard to keep as long as you don't mind the occasional nasty sting from them, and you're good with your barrier, even though they're really bad at climbing, so barrier isn't too much of an issue either. Really, they're quite easy to keep. They're quite hardy with temperatures and humidity. I've let it drop a little bit lower than it should have before. You should keep them about 70% humidity, I found is best for them. But I've let it drop to about 60, 50 before, and they've been absolutely fine. They're really great hardy ants again. But obviously, I would recommend trying to keep them around that 75 mark. They can go for about 60. It's quite flexible with them. They're really decent with that. They love to, although they do work in acrylic and man-made nests, that sort of thing. They're just great ants. And if you like the bigger ants for viewing, diacama are really good. Like I say, you don't want to get stung by them too often because they've got a painful sting, being the Asian bullet ants. But apart from that, they're really great. I like them. And they give you that, like, I don't quite often do live feedings because I don't like live feedings, you know that. So it's it's the rarity that I do it, and it is nice to do occasionally because I like to see this sort of activity. It's more natural, but I don't believe in doing that myself. But this is the sort of thing that they would do in the wild if they found an injured roach or something. They would tear it to pieces. Survival of the fittest in the insect world, isn't it? Let's be honest. And yeah, colony strength and all of that. And I want to say, before I forget, a massive welcome to everyone on, we are broadcasting live to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube at the minute. So a massive welcome to everyone over all the different platforms. We are still working on the technical issues, we could say. But we've got all sorts going on, so it's not an issue. If you're here in chat, we've got 4 people in the chat at the moment. If you're here in chat and you fancy a duck race, let me know, because we can have a little duck race whilst we wait. Or you can continue to listen to me chatting for as long as you like. Katrina, it is being a bit of a pain, isn't it? I've never come across that before. Give me 2 seconds. It's not letting me edit it either. It says you haven't connected a camera or mic. You can add them. Yeah, you need to connect a camera or mic, and now you have feedback. If you've got feedback, turn the sound off any other devices locally. I'm not sure. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Like I say, we will definitely rearrange. I've got a few more spaces later on in the month, so we can definitely rearrange. It's not an issue at all. Oh, excuse me. I apologise to all the viewers and listeners for my awful cough. As you know, who sign into the show regularly, I have had an awful chest infection for what feels like forever. I am slowly getting over it. I am getting a little bit better. I'm now back to my full training and eating regime, looking to compete in a strongman in August. So I am back on everything. I am getting back into beast mode. As you may notice, I'm back in. I do get a little bit of time. No, I didn't take time off. I've just taken time to sort of relax and sort the ant stuff out. Now the ant stuff is sort of on its way, lots of things going. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a bit, obviously. Lots of things going in the ant stuff, in the ant world at the moment, for ants on the rock anyways. So I can now focus my life back, split a bit more time off from my training regime, focus on competing at a high level again, because it would be really nice to hit podium. My aim is that there is a competition that I'm looking to do, which is perfect category for me, because the ones I compete in are open class, and obviously I compete against some massive guys who never go reach podium. So it's going to be nice to, in a few competitions time, I'll be in one where I'm against people my own size. But that's completely irrelevant to ants. I'm telling you about my training regime now. It's not that wasn't part of the plan. But I don't think we're going to be doing the interview tonight. It seems like we're having all sorts of issues. So I'll just carry on with the rest of the show. We'll reschedule the interview for another night. And apart from that, I hope everyone enjoys the show. Again, thank you all for signing. I did just burp, so that might have come through the microphone. These energy drinks, I said it earlier, do not drink them. They are lethal. They are vile, awful things. So yeah, we'll just carry on with the show. A massive thank you to Katrina though for trying, because giving up her time to come on the show is always a massive honor to me. I don't know the words for it. I'm rubbish with words, but it is always amazing when someone agrees to come on the show, especially someone like Katrina, who's just a viewer, not someone looking for views on YouTube or looking to promote themselves in any way. They just, they wanted to show off their colony and have a chat with the community. I think that's really nice and genuine, and like sort of thing I enjoy, Very cool. So we appreciate that a lot, Katrina, and we'll definitely rebook and work out the technical issues. We'll do like a trial run and work it out, we will get it sorted. But again, a massive welcome to, hang on. Katrina might have just come on to the stream. So let's have a little go see if we can enter Katrina into the stream and have a little chat.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for coming
Hello,
on.
hello. I can't hear you very clearly, Tom, to be fair.
Can you not?
No. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
Wait a
Can
minute.
everyone
Let's
else
sort the
hear me
plugs out.
okay in the chat?
Let me sort this out a minute, sweetheart.
Yeah, no problem. You do what you gotta do. But I was just saying, it's really nice to have you give up your time for just a genuinely nice reason. Like say, you're not looking to advertise yourself or anything. You just wanted to show off and
No?
you
Just want to say hey.
pants and pardon.
Just wanted to say hey to everybody, really.
Yeah, that's it. I thought that was really nice, and like I say, a real genuine reason for coming on the show and just communicating with people, which is lovely.
Yeah.
It's all good. Like I do like interviewing shops and helping promote other people, but I think it's really nice to just have a chat sometimes.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. I really can't hear you, but hey.
Do you have headphones?
Yeah, well, I've got earpods. And they're being
They
stupid today.
that might work, or it might be a hindrance. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably. I could just about hear you. It's all good, dude.
Okay, as long as you can hear me and it will be okay. Whatever. We've got a few questions for you, and I can shout them if you like and try and be super clear. So nice, easy questions, gentle questions, as always. We're just going to have a little chat. So we'll just start. What got you into ants, and when did you start? It's a classic question. We always ask it.
I can't see who's in chat, and I'm being honest with the community. I had a bit of a struggle with my mental health a few years ago. I've always loved nature, always had my hand in the soil since I was a kid. Loved handling bugs, all the rest of it. Got fascinated into watching, the name he shall not be named.
Yeah.
Good old Mikey. And I got into watching him, and they relaxed me, they calmed me, they helped my mental health. For some strange reason they did. So I researched for a year, and then got my first colony first queen from Chris, my Mesa Barbarus, who ended up with Steve Jones, which I'm very glad he's got. But yeah, and then I got a Nico off of British Ants.
Yeah.
And then went from there. But yeah, Mesa took so long to start off as well. She was lovely, bless her.
It's not always a bad thing, because it gives you time to learn, and you get.
Oh, mate, I've learned. I've really learned. I've learned to be sensible.
Sorry, what ant colonies do you currently have?
What do I currently have? I've got. I can never pronounce it. Ectomymex astuta. Roxy, stop trashing the place. Excuse the occasional banging of my dog. Yeah, small colony. I'd probably say about 40 to 50 workers. They've never really got much bigger, but I know they don't get that big anyway. I'm currently building on the tank that you saw earlier. I don't know if you want to put anything up. I can't see chat, so. Oh yes, I can. I can see your screen anyway. Paused it. Yeah, so currently building that one. It's kind of Hobbit styley. It's got 3 random shelves.
We'll have a chat about the tanks.
Yeah, cool. Sorry. I've got what have I got? Alaceus niger. Me. I've got a queen with a couple of workers of Flabbus that I got from you. And I have randomly, I've got a Myrmicus gabrinodis that I found in a log on a wander.
Yeah.
Didn't realise I had ants in the log and the moss that I foraged for until I got back home and put it in the bath like I always do to bath water. Anything that's going to climb out, it's going to climb out. But it was more than one Scabrinodes worker. There was a lot of them. And I'm like, right, okay.
Yeah. Do you think there was a queen there? and she might have just disappeared.
I think I've lost you.
We can hear you, Kat. Oh,
I'm struggling to do anything here, mate. So yeah, I'm just talking. Oh, hello. You have my glasses. I think I'm building it now.
there we go. Is that the tank?
Yeah.
All right, 2 seconds. There we go. We can all see the tank now.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm currently building for this feature. I can't show. I'm struggling to direct the thing in the right direction, but
Yeah, it's not easy to kind of.
no, it's not an easy task, mate. Hang on, let me. Oh, wrong way. There you go. That's better.
No, that looks really good. Like I was gonna say, I really like the way you've incorporated those shelving units into it.
It was an old. I'm just gonna leave it on that. Hang on, let me take you along and show you the tube. Where's the thing? There it is. That's where the Scabrinodes are at the moment.
Yeah.
I
really like that. I love that little setup. That's beautiful.
I'll leave it on there. I need to clean out bits and bobs, but I've been building tanks all day, so.
Yeah. When you get into a big job like that, I think we all kind of fall behind on some of the other jobs.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. They're currently very well fed, so you won't see any of them.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and all of my ants are extremely well fed right now, so they're not going to be out. But yeah, so I'm kind of doing hobbit holes and things.
No, I like that. I like the trail and ivy.
Pardon?
I really like the trail and ivy, the way you've worked it all around. You know, it looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm getting there slowly. I'm going to try and put it in. I can't see what you can see, so yeah, because I'm going to try and put it all along there as well. And I've got more cork bark to go, as you saw before in the bottom and stuff. But no, it's me. Hello. Hey. Yeah, so I've got more cork bark to go in the bottom and other bits and bobs, but I've done a proper drainage layer this time.
Yeah.
I have used meshy separation stuff.
Yeah.
I don't normally. I just use stones and moss to separate the levels.
Yeah, I'm really cheap. I just use a plastic bag that I've torn holes into normally.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
These are not working.
Yeah, well, I've never had issues with it yet. You know what I mean? It's not just a normal carrier bag. It's like a thick bin liner bag. So it's sort of like a liner anyway.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's it. That's it. Never had trouble with it.
Oh, please, just work, will you? Bear with me.
We're not having any issues our end. We can hear you. As long as you can hear us, then it's all working.
Yeah, no, I could just about hear you through my phone, but it's not loud.
Okay.
So
do you have like an end vision when it comes to your tanks? Have you got like a thing in your head that you're working towards?
Hang on, bear with me a minute. I'm going to have to turn video off so that I can put the phone to my ear. How do I turn video off?
No problem.
How do I turn the video off? It's gone. I've lost it.
It's never easy.
I don't like technology.
No, technology's not my friend either.
Awesome. That's better.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry, Tom. Say the question again, my lovely.
No, you're completely fine. I was just saying, have you got like an end vision in your head, what you want the tanks to look like?
I don't know what happens in my brain, but I think a lot of us that do tanks and things on a regular basis and work with plants and things because we love it so much, kind of have an idea in our heads of stuff. I used to keep reptiles and I used to build my own vivariums for them out of old furniture and bookcases and stuff. And nobody else, there was never a plan, there was never a drawn plan. It was always in my head. I knew what it was going to look like when it was finished, and it's kind of that's how it's got,
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
that's
know.
fair.
It's kind of just there. But my end goal, my ultimate goal, is I would love to keep a small colony of slow worms in a natural tank,
Yes.
with a colony of lake or lace, probably Lacus niger, because they love eating them. And yeah, just cohabit and try and raise a colony of slow worms and release some of the babies back into the world, into the nature garden that I've created.
Nice. That's
So
really
that's the
cool.
ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's really cool. Right, I was cycling to wherever the other day, and I saw a slow worm on the side of the road, and I was like, I really want to pick that up and take it home, but I don't know if I don't know the rules on keeping them. Are they protected or?
They are protected. Yeah, I mean, there is no way at the moment I would even consider it. So anyone out there listening, no, I'm not even going to do it. At least 2 years in the planning, if not longer, before I would ever capture slow worms and keep them in captivity. I would need to have the complete correct setup before I would ever do it. I'd never jeopardize them. They're endangered. You can't buy them. You can keep them. You can breed them. You can release them, but you can't sell them, or sell parts of them.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So you can help the conservation, but you can't make money from it, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you
That's
can't. Yeah,
fine.
you can't sell them the offspring on or whatever. You can, like I said, help conserve, and that's what I'm planning on doing. Is my end goal would be to have a breeding pair or a breeding group or whatever, and get some babies and release them out into a safe space.
Wow. So do they breed like snakes, or are they? I don't know how it really works with slow worms.
They're live bearers. They're legless lizards. They're live bearers.
That's So
Anyone
yeah,
correct me, please? I'm not completely up on anything, all right? I have no knowledge really, but I used to collect them as a kid. I adore them. I think they're wonderful, and they are endangered, and I want to do something to protect them. So it's my fondest memories of being a kid is collecting slow worms in the long grass that used to be around my school in Exeter when I was a kid, and it's stuck with me ever since. And I just want to do something to help them because I don't see them anymore. That's why I've tried to create a nature garden, because at least I can attempt to help, do something for the planet.
See, I say I've got a nature garden, but really I just don't get around to cutting my grass very often.
Oh no,
So,
mine's been an ever progressing one for years.
Yeah, like, if anyone asks, like, I've done it on purpose to save the wildlife and whatnot. I keep ants.
Oh, absolutely, mate. It's got to be done.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think the neighbours like it when it's like up to their knees.
Wow, my neighbours don't like it either. But the way I see it, the railway cut all the undergrowth, the trees, everything off the embankment behind my house.
Yeah.
So there was no solace and no retreat for any of the local birds that nest around here, and they rest and nest in my garden, and I'm quite happy with that. So let them carry on.
That's nice. I'm really lucky.
And I have squirrels in my shed.
I'm really lucky where I live. We've got one of the bird sanctuaries and things like that, literally just about half a mile away or a mile or two away. So yeah, we get quite a lot of rare birds around here, and we get
That's nice.
we've got a good amount of nature around here, really, because we're on like a little island full of green areas, and it's pretty.
Lucky you, mate.
You say that.
Lucky you.
It is nice, but it's a little bit disconnected. Like the other day, the police shut off the causeway. They closed the causeway so no one could come on the island and no one could leave. And they wouldn't tell anyone why. They were just saying it's for your own safety.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's like that's a little bit worrying. Like, bear in mind we've got like 3 different prisons on the island. Like that's a little bit worrying.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and a nuclear submarine base, which is like less than a mile from my house.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, which was actually quite scary. Like quite a long time ago, when they were setting it up, I think it was, or extending it, they sent out leaflets what to do in a nuclear event if you hear the alarms going off. Basically, it
Yeah.
was sit inside your house and wait for someone to tell you what to do.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically, I'm dead. In that case, I'm gone.
Oh dear, that's not good, is
Yeah,
it?
no, I did laugh a little bit. Like, have you ever played the game Fallout?
Yes, a
Yeah,
little.
it made me think a little bit of that, but obviously, I'm not one of the lucky ones getting in a vote. I
Hang on a
would
minute, I'm trying to connect
relish
my audio. Bear with
the
me.
fact of being a feral ghoul. That would be good fun.
Yeah, it would be really, wouldn't it?
Definitely make the most of it.
Oh,
So are your tanks like a work in process? Have you still got much more to do? You said you've got more to do on that one. If you're still there. Just going a little bit quiet. I'm sure she'll be back in a second. If I had sound effects, I'd put in like some waiting music right now, some elevator music or something, but it's just not something we have got sound effects working in the process.
can you hear me, Tom?
Yeah, we can now. We heard that.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, that's
Well,
cool. That's all right.
did you hear the
Um,
question?
yeah, I did. Yeah, my tanks are always a work in progress, but I used to have a lot of colonies. I've cleared a lot of excuse my French, but crap out of my house. And to be able to use my lounge as a lounge, I need to get my tanks the way I need them and aesthetically pleasing. So I've decided to focus more on the tanks and just make myself happy for a
Yeah.
bit. Do what makes me smile because and creating these do and having tools that I need to make things properly always helps. I've now run out of desk space because or table space to put the small tank that I finished in the space on the on my outside, so which is funny, but I will create space another day. I wanted to get the Lasius in there tonight, but yeah, my tanks always are. I mean, I've got this one, then I've got the big 3 footer behind me that is still empty, needs filling and doing.
Yeah.
And I've got another 1.5 foot deep old fish tank that my dad gave me years ago. That
Oh wow,
currently
that's
has
nice.
a Morio colony in it, and hopefully still some millipedes. So what I want to do is empty it out, break it down, take out the Morios, put them in the freezer,
Yeah.
and downsize the colony considerably, and hopefully find millipedes in the bucket. Please go away, Roxy. Stop. No, you're an elephant and you'll knock things over. Sorry, she's bulldozing.
Yeah, that's fine.
A staff cross rock. She's
Oh,
bulldozing.
lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of I've got so many tanks in the house that
So
could house things, and I'm like, no, stop looking on a spider shop and looking at millipedes, which I was doing earlier.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I've got to
It's
stop doing
hard
that.
not to, isn't it?
Oh mate, it's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. Finding the Scabronodus was unreal because I only had the Astuta and possibly Elaceus conley alive. I tried last year and I've got one little colony in a little Ferrero Rocher tub that are hopefully going to move into that tank when that is completely dry.
I think I remember that tub actually. I think I remember the pictures.
Yeah, I randomly put something together so that I could grow them on a bit, and they buried themselves in the sand, which is hilarious. But yeah, every time I feed them, I see workers coming out. So I'm like, okay, you're alive and you're obviously thriving. So let's move you into a tank, give you a soil setup. It's already underground hydrated. So I can always send you pictures later of that one.
Yeah,
I
please
think I
do.
did, didn't I? It was the bubble thing.
Oh
It was the
yes.
bubble tube in the gravel layer. Do you remember me sending you
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
that? Yeah. I
I'm
always
having a
hydrate
look.
I always hydrate my setups from underneath. So
Which
I
is
put,
really interesting way of doing it.
yeah, I don't know why I started doing it, but I do. And because I've always had problems hydrating my setups, especially when, like my old Nico colony used to keep getting out all the time. It was a
Yeah.
real pain to hydrate the colony because, yeah, it was just crazy. So now, well, for a long time, I've done it underneath. I
No,
do it under, I put the hydration underneath the gravel layer.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
and
brilliant.
I've got,
Um, Sorry, I just want to butt in actually.
carry on.
Yeah, I thought it was a brilliant idea actually. I remember
Thank you.
specifically the picture you sent to me now, and what I it inspired me actually. I've got my T-shaped formicarium,
Yeah,
so I didn't, but I thought about it in the future. In that sort of scenario, it would work really well to have like a straw or something, or a little tube heading down to the bottom, so that you can, with the holes either side, so it would hydrate evenly throughout the nest. Because it's sort
yeah.
of
Well, all I do is put a blob of hot glue in the end, and then
yeah,
put holes along the sides of the tube.
there you go, exactly that. So it just hydrates. Yeah, it would work really, really well.
Yeah,
Another thing, hang on, I'm writing it down so I don't remember. So I tried it in a couple of my tanks as well, having the vinyl tube going straight down into the drainage layer, past all the substrate and whatnot. And
yeah,
then you can just put a funnel, whatever, and pour water straight into it. It works really well for smaller tanks, but for larger tanks, I just found it was like I was stood there for so long pouring water into this little funnel. It was crazy. It's easier to properly water them, if you know what I mean.
what I do is use airline. So I use airline tubing
Yeah.
with a large syringe with a narrow end that fits into the top of the airline that comes out of the top of the tank.
Yes.
I just take the stopper out, leave it open, and use my spray.
Okay.
Like your Mister
Yeah.
that you pump, and then I just shoot that straight into the top of the syringe. It fills it up as much as I need it really quickly.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. In
So it
fact,
just waters it for, I leave it running for 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever until it fills up what I want, and then stop and
yeah.
then move on to the next one.
No, that's fair. What? Sorry. Randomly, but I want to say this just because I saw this on the internet and it works really well. It works for plants. It works for ants, which don't need too much water. But it's a little bit riskier with ants. But I'll explain. Basically, like, so you get like a bucket of water and you put it with a string line into your
Oh, right,
plant,
yeah.
and the water goes up the string line into your plant because your plant's constantly absorbing it. And it's like, wow, why didn't I think of that? So if you go away on holiday or go away for a couple of weeks and you're not there to water your plants, it does it for you.
Well, yeah, exactly.
My God,
Yeah.
it blew my mind. Like, I had never seen anything like that, and I was like, "What? That's just saved my
Yeah.
oh my God,
Yeah,
wow,
most of my house plants are water loving things. So I regularly drown them.
yeah,
Okay. My rubber plants love water. So
yeah, they do,
I'm yeah, Roxy's trying to say hello, by the way. She's getting as close as she can to the phone. Say, hey people.
yeah." Hello, Roxy. One thing about my plants is they're always like my kids love to water plants, as all kids do. And if even if I've just watered them, they're like, "Can we water?" No, no, you can't. But I have to be so careful. If I go to water it, I have to double check with everyone that they haven't watered them, behind my back. And I've just noticed, right, and I need to act on this like right now. And I'm going to show you all why on this camera that is reaching almost the top of the tank. So we're going to snap that off before it becomes an issue.
Have you got that tank open, Tom?
No, this one isn't open, but they can easily get out.
Right, okie dokie. Because all of mine are secure. After those Nicos, I'll tell you what, having Campanitis Nicoverensis changed my life and gave me a completely different perspective on keeping ants.
Yeah.
To the point where I keep every single colony completely enclosed to the point where not even a fruit fly can get in the damn thing. Because if a fruit fly can't get in, then nor can a tiny ant. And after my Nicos killed off my redhead messer and a couple of my natives, I was not a happy bunny, so I learned very, very quickly to keep my colonies completely enclosed. And at the moment, my most important colony is my Astuta, and they always have been. So when I realised I had a Scabrinodes colony in my house, I went into panic mode to make sure that my Astuta were tightly locked up.
Yeah.
And luckily they are. So they are my pride and joy, and I adore them. This is why I'm building in this tank.
No, it's
because hopefully this is all they will ever need now.
Do you prefer bioactive tanks to like?
Always.
Yeah.
100%. I've never used it. This is my personal opinion. I've never used acrylic. I've always, because I'm skint and a frugal ant keeper, I've generally always made my own anyway. I'd much rather buy a bag of plaster of Paris and make my own plaster nests. Or luckily, they were building houses next to my place a few years ago. And they had a load of aerated concrete bricks, the big ones.
Nice.
And he said, "Oh, mate, you can have them for nothing if you want." I went, "Really?"
Wow.
And I had about 15 of them, the big ones. And I've still got about 6 in the other room. And some small brick size ones. So yeah, so I'm pretty frugal on my ant keeping. Most of my tanks I've acquired from people or from selling sites or whatever.
Yeah.
People giving them away. The only thing I pay for is the coconut core and the compost, really, and then I mix my own substrate up. Moss and leaves
sometimes
and whatever.
Some expenses can't be avoided, but if you can do it cheaply, I always highly recommend you do.
Oh yeah, I'm a nightmare going to a garden centre. Do not take me to a garden centre. I spent 50 quid on plants the other day when I had no money.
Yeah.
Literally, my birthday, it was an absolute nightmare. There was no stopping me.
I quite like a good garden centre, just to walk around, sit in the cafe, have a look. But I never take like a large amount of money because I know I'll buy a tree or something.
Yeah, no, my brain thinks small on a constant basis, so I'm always looking for little plants everywhere.
Yeah. See, I'm really lucky, right? So about 2 or 3 streets away, actually on the way to the local shop between me and there, it takes literally about 5 minutes to get there. There's a house which grows all sorts of different things, and they sell them cheap, but not.
Really?
Yeah, it's the plants. So there's loads of different like fruit plants, vegetable plants. This year we've got tomato plants off them, like 3 different varieties of tomato plants. But they're also doing courgettes and stuff. Normally they do strawberries. One year we got gooseberry, like a whole bush of to plant. Red currant, black currant, and josterberry. We planted all of them, and the josterberries right next to my front door. It's literally like this was 3 years ago, and now it was only like small, just needing to replant in size. It's now like nearly 5 foot high and absolutely massive, and almost taking over the door. It's brilliant.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. Like,
that's the best way, mate.
All the rest of them, I planted them at the same time, and they're still in like a foot, 2 feet. This one's absolutely massive, and I can't work out why. It's like same soil, same everything. It's just done so much better.
Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes they like you, sometimes they don't.
That's it.
Sometimes plants hate me. One's just died and will not revive no matter what I've done. So I know I well water most of mine. So it's
Well, do you
I love
grow
my
any
ficuses.
vegetables?
Pardon?
Do you grow any vegetables? It's one thing I've started doing, like in the summery months, is growing my own vegetables more. Just because it's so much cheaper in the world of today. Any money I can save, like you say, it's crazy, isn't it? So
no, I don't. I used to grow my own chilies and bell peppers, and what else? I've done sweet potatoes and fish tanks. That's fun.
Oh, nice. I haven't done sweet potatoes before. I do carrots and things like that just because they're easy. You plant them and that's pretty much it.
Sweet potatoes are easy too.
Oh well, I might have to try that at some point. I do eat a lot of sweet potato.
Do
Basically,
you?
every day I eat about 2 kilograms of potato. So if I can mix it up a bit with sweet potato, it's always a bonus.
Just like my mother, she loves sweet potato. Same
Well,
condition as you too.
I don't enjoy it. Well, I enjoy the first meal, maybe enjoy the second meal. By the third meal, you're kind of fed up. By the 8th meal of the day, it's like, right, I've had enough potato.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Enough
I used
chicken.
to when I had fish tanks, I used to put sweet potatoes in the suspended in the top of the water, and they would root and create sprouts. And then once the sprouts root, you stick them in the soil, and then they just grow sweet potatoes.
Wow, that's
And that's
really
how you grow them. It's
interesting.
easy. Yeah, and you can just have loads of tubs of water in the window and just sprout your sweet potato roots until they got decent roots on them. Only takes a couple of weeks.
Oh
And
wow.
plant them up in a tub of soil outside or in your window or whatever, and you'll have sweet potatoes in a few weeks.
I might have to try that at some point. Easy,
Yeah,
like you say, it's definitely worth doing. Growing these in this modern age, even in a pot or something in your windowsill.
yeah, totally. There's most plants you can take cuttings from if you're walking out where, stick them in water generally. Just take the lower nodes off, stick them in a tub of water, a bowl of water or a vase of water or whatever. Leave them a few weeks and they'll grow roots. And then you can just plant them. So, you're out walking the dogs or whatever and you find a bush that you like, just take a larger cutting, break the nodes off, stick it in some water, job's a good one.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you take anything, can't you? Not take anything, but yeah.
I don't know. Within reason, obviously, don't crazy stuff. Excuse the rustling. But you got to be sensible about those things. But I just love collecting moss and various other things. I like foraging and stuff. It's great fun.
One thing I love doing is
any more questions, Tom?
So I do have a couple more questions. Do you prefer big ants or small ants?
Oh, see, I've changed my tack on that one because I just at the start I had Massa and Massa were awesome, but she was so long to start. So then I got Nico's, which was stupidly fast, and then I got Diacama Grossum, which is what I'm looking at on your screen.
Yeah.
And then I went to the Polyrack Steves, or the other way around. I can't remember which order it was, third or fourth, but it was those two. And I loved the big ants, and then I gave them all up, and I found a love for the natives, and I watch them at work now, and it's just like I walked past to go to the bathroom yesterday, day before, and I found a flavus nest, and I was like, "Ooh!" So I loaded the top off just to make sure it was a flavus nest, which it was, and then I was like, on Messenger to my mate, who's one of the gardeners that tries to keep an eye on the colonies for me, for both of us really. And I'm like, look, another flavus nest. And then they sent me a video later on in the day of another one they found. And it was like, ant guys keep killing them off. The pest control. Oh, it's so frustrating. So I love the smaller species, but I still love my big girls. And my dream is a very large species. I would love a gigas or similar, or but what's it? Smaragdina.
Yeah.
I'd love, green weaver ants. They would just be an absolute dream species, but I would never have the setup suitable to keep them, so I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I have to justify what I'm doing as okay for them as well as me.
Yeah, of course.
So, which I've learned over time of keeping ant species. Do you know what I mean? It's not just okay to stick them in a tub and expect them to survive. You really have to work at it, and you really have to do what is best for them. Otherwise, you lose them. Or they go out completely out of control and escape on a regular basis, which frustrates me to the point of madness. But yeah, it's you've really got to have your head on the right way to look after them, especially with the more experience, the species that require more experience, shall we say. But yeah, I try and leave them alone. If I get a queen with, go on, sorry.
No, you carry on.
I've always preferred natural setups anyway. I would always stick them in a natural. But yeah, so I'm learning to like the smaller species. I like watching them at work. I'm liking watching the little ones coming out. You know, the little Nigers.
Yeah.
They're quite sweet, to be fair. I'm quite enjoying watching them through my magnifying glass because my sight is so poor that this is why I've always gone for the big species, because I've got rubbish eyesight. But you know, but I'm just enjoying seeing these little tiny specks running around everywhere, and I can't wait till they get established enough. This is why I will stick them in that tank and just let them crack on.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if you've put any pictures up. From what I sent you on Discord earlier. I don't know if you have.
Because we're using the phone now as the camera because it's much better quality on the phone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm unable to like take it from my phone onto the PC to put it up, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Which is slightly irritating. I don't know. I won't be able to do it now. I'd have to disconnect everything.
That's all right, mate.
You know what I mean? Oh well.
It's not an issue. We did have a look
at. Yeah, we did have a look at the video you showed us. Last couple of questions before I let you go, but I really thank you for giving us so much of your time. I said it was only going to be a short interview, didn't I? But
no, I'll chat. I'll chat for ages. I'll carry on as long as you like, my lovely. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm only sitting here planting up this tank, so that's literally my plan for this evening, is watching this tank until I can get around to planting any more up. So yeah, I'm on tank mode.
Fair enough. Have you made any big mistakes or like a learning curve that you want to share with us for other beginners to avoid?
100%. Make sure you have a completely escape-proof barrier, whatever it is. 100%, because as Ants Holifer has recently experienced, I've also had that problem.
Yeah.
And as has Steve, that's now got had my Nicos and my Massas. The Nicos were an absolute pain in the bum and would try and get out on a regular basis. And when I'd come home from work after a long 12-hour night shift and find them all over my bedroom, which is where I had the majority of my colonies.
Yeah.
I just went into scream mode, and unfortunately most of them got squished, and I'm sorry, opinion is your own, but at the time my colony was established enough that killing off 500 workers did not matter.
Yeah.
And when they took over my isopod collection and other things and killed off other things, I was in you've done this, you can just so I was not a happy bunny, and the only way I could do it was to take them out. I couldn't transfer them back. They'd spread themselves too far across my ant room they decimated everything they came across. But strangely enough, they didn't cross the Polyrachus line, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah,
the two colonies never crossed. The Polyrachus got out as much as the Thieves did, but they were good girls. Came to me to be put back in the tank, no problem. I don't know what they associated my scent with good.
Yeah.
So they come to find me, and I just put them back in the tank.
Yeah.
But the Nicos were a nightmare. But they never crossed. The colonies were a similar size, and they just never bothered each other. See, it was like they realised that they were on a par, and it was best not to bother with them, and they didn't bother. So
it has been
which was strange.
In the wild that a lot of colonies will try to avoid actually meeting other colonies that they deem a threat. Just to, what's the point in fighting if you don't need to? You know, they will try and avoid each other if they can.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that, which is it's very true. I mean, it was just funny You know, I could literally see there was a good foot or two across the middle of the room that they never crossed.
Yeah.
It was really
Yeah.
strange. Both colonies just left a wide path between the two.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, it's really smart the way they do it, but they must be picking up on each other's pheromones or something, you know.
Yeah, must have been. I don't know, but it was madness. But no, lessons learned, and I had to downsize for my own health. I had to downsize, which I did, and I downsized dramatically.
Yeah.
And I left myself with a couple of bits and bobs, which my Campanitis japonicus didn't make it, and I'm gutted about that. But I tried 3 attempts, three times. I tried to keep Japonicus queen, and 3 times I failed. So I'm not going there again. It was too hard for me to lose all of them. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And that was the biggest carpenter that I could have. You know, I mean, I know there's bigger species out there, but that's money involved. And when it's big numbers, I just can't justify it.
Yeah.
You know,
No, that's fair.
some people are blessed with having funds that they can spend silly amounts of money on colonies. I unfortunately can't, so I have to do what I can, and I'm quite happy with my little girls.
Yeah. No, I think you've got it right there. Like, you have no, you know, if you've got no real need to have all these hundreds and colonies and whatnot, then just keep whatever makes you happy, you know.
Yeah, keep it to a comfortable level, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, because like
and plan ahead.
Yes, always definitely plan ahead. Like,
yeah,
we
if
always
you've got
say,
a colony that you know is fast growing, like Nico's or whatever, plan ahead. Make sure you've got the tank space, especially the lid, or I would say secure lid every single time. And I have to make sure I have completely secure lid, but you know, easy access at the same time. So for me, the biggest torment in making a tank is making a lid.
Yeah,
because it's got to be right.
Yeah, that's fair.
To keep the little ones in.
Yeah, I take the big risk with quite a few of mine and don't have any lids at all. The Diacama setup has no lid. My Murano Plus Bicolor has no lid.
Oh, mate.
Has no lid. Yeah. Even the
see, I wouldn't risk that with those Diacama. There is no way I would risk leaving open.
Yeah.
Because to me, they would be too precious to lose.
Well. They can't.
Oh no, I know. Well. Everybody else getting in. That's the fear. It's not them getting out. It's someone else getting in.
Yes, no, that is fair.
This is this is another tip I would give out to any new ant keeper. It's not what regardless if you put a barrier on the outside of the containers you're trying to stop things getting into, they will find a way past it.
Yeah.
You'll knock it with your hand and not realise you've rubbed some of the barrier off, blah, blah, blah. So my advice is always make a completely secure lid where no other small, tiny ant can get in and invade your precious colonies.
Yeah.
Because it's less nice around very, very well.
I had Lasius niger colony invade. Well, they invade my kitchen every year. They come in from outside through the back door looking for food. I thought I'd put it on this tank because the crab's out and about.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, well, it's kind of jumping about, running away from the ants, which are going nuts at the minute. Not a good place to be a crab.
No, definitely not.
No, I've completely forgotten what I was saying now.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. No, not me, mate. But yeah, no, that's advice. Yeah, I would never leave a Diacama or anyone open anymore after the
yeah, that's it.
Absolute torment I went through with that experience. I've learned my lesson, and yeah, my biggest concern is making a secure lid where I can get access. This is why I do underground hydration with airline, because I can put the airline up through holes in the plastic lid. I can hydrate from the outside without having to ever take the major lid off. And I can just feed them, feed and do whatever I need to do through. So I'm loving those fans, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are good. They grow like crazy.
I'm growing some in a small tank, so I'm hoping I'm going to put some in here in a bit. I've got a lot of things to go in here.
They just sprout out of everywhere. Like, I only planted 2, and now they're just like everywhere.
Oh, nice.
And the other one's a thornless blackberry bush, so we get fruit once a year in there as well,
All right.
which is really cool. And obviously, a lot of the insects eat it, but the dives have never actually been bothered about it.
No.
No, I thought they might, but it's usually the beetles and isopods will tear it to pieces, but the ants have never once picked up a berry. I thought, watching bugs fly, they'd be there picking up the berries, and no, none of that.
Yeah, no, they eat my neighbour's raspberry bushes, which she's none too happy about. She
Brilliant.
came to my for my advice and said, "This, what can we do about these ants in the what's it called, the compost bin that keep eating
Yeah.
my raspberries every year?" And I'm like, I was going to collect the entire colony out of the compost bin and keep them in the house. I was like, I nearly did it, nearly.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I stopped myself.
I get offered ant colonies all the time where we're like digging up a pavement or whatever. So it'll be like, oh, there's a load of ants here. Do you want to take them home? I just look at them like, you guys are so stupid.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, me and Zach that I work with have been tempted to run off with a few Flavus colonies from the site where we work, because it's just so depressing that the pest control keeps going around and killing them all. That's why I put that post up on your group, because it really bothers me, mate. It really does. It's just so frustrating to see these beautiful wild colonies being killed off by pest control just to keep customers happy.
It should go red in a second. If it doesn't go red, this, I don't know if you can see it, but the lights, the main daytime lights just turned off on the diacamera.
Right,
you can't see anything at the minute because it's just dark. But in a second, the red light should turn on because it swaps onto there should be an overlap of the other way. It should, the red light should turn on before the, I don't know why.
Yeah, no, not me.
Oh, let's.
There's red, blue.
There we go. I had to turn it back on.
Right,
basically,
cool.
the kids quite often find the remote, just everything off. It's like, cheers, guys. That takes me I have to wait for a set time to turn it on, if you know what I mean, and set the timers. So every time they turn it off, it's like, yeah, cheers for that, guys. Cheers.
Is there any questions in chat that I missed, Tom? Because I'm not actually watching chat, lovely. I've not been watching it since I've been chatting, so
I think
I didn't know if there was any questions asked in chat.
Crazy Antics is asking, what about a colony of atta? I think he's meaning, would you like a colony of atta?
No, thank you.
No?
No, thank you. No, they are way, way, way too specialised for me. Don't get me wrong, I could probably, but no. It's way too much after having extensive colonies of Nikos and that lot. It's atta get crazy. They need a lot of space.
Yeah.
And to some people they are a perfect dream colony, but for me they're not. I love to watch them, but no.
Yeah, that's it. They are an amazing exhibit colony, amazing to look at, but they are a huge commitment, like you say.
Absolutely, and they're too much of a commitment to me. So, this is why I make my setups how I make them, so that I can leave my colony alone for a week, and come back and still find them quite happily pootling around doing that, doing their thing, and they're all right, and they've got everything they need in the tank.
Yeah, definitely.
Honey supplies everywhere. I do need to get some of that pink nectar stuff though, man. It looks amazing.
Yes, I will be selling it very soon on my website as well.
Okie dokie, yeah, cool. I need to get my hands on some. But yeah, and I need to find some big flat rocks for in here as well, feeding stations. But
yeah,
I'll get round to that another day. But yeah, so is there any other questions?
No, that was it that I had written down. I was just going to say, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us before we let you go?
Yeah, thank you for having me on and all that. It's lovely to see some familiar faces on the last couple of nights. I do apologise for a couple of weeks ago. My work does take its toll out of me sometimes. Especially on a Monday and a Friday, but
we all understand.
yeah, no, it's cool. Ant keeping's fun. ant keeping is definitely fun, but it does take a lot of time, and sometimes they can all drive you back crazy. But they're worth it at the end of the day. And they're so therapeutic to watch. So
definitely.
And I'm sat right beside this tank, literally inches from the glass, and I cannot wait for it to be finished so I can get these girls in here.
Yeah.
And see how they do. Because that'll be awesome. But, yeah, all those cork boxes are going to be filled in behind with sills, so plenty of space for nests and whatever. And every level's hydrated.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so every level has a hydration layer and a mesh layer, and will be surrounded by soil. So yeah, the whole lot is hydrated on each shelf as well.
Very cool.
With a separate airline tube.
Yeah. Wow.
So
yeah, still quite a lot to do, but it's going to be really
there
cool.
There is loads to do because I've got loads of planting to do as well. So I'm going to do as much as I can tonight before I crash. But
yeah,
I'm really enjoying the process, and I will continue to send you some pictures, Tom, if you're interested. So
please, definitely do. Definitely. I mean, you're more than welcome to send me some clips and whatnot, and I will show them on the next episode or whatever works, you know.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that I can do that. I just that'd be awesome, actually.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Thank you.
Amazingly, huge thank you for coming on and sharing with us some of your experience. It's been a really great episode, a really great chat, and actually, like I say, it's really nice to have just someone to come on to just chat and not try and advertise anything. It's been really nice, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you. You know me, I'm laid back and me. I am what you find. You know what I mean? I love me bugs and I love getting my hands dirty, and I love this hobby. And if I can, with the limited knowledge that I have and the limited experience I have in comparison to some people, if I can help advise somebody to go in the right direction, then I will do. I'm loving following some of the new people. I'm loving catching up with some of the old guys that I've known for a while. It's really nice. I love coming on here and listening to you guys chat about, and we have a laugh, and we do the quizzes and we do the duck races, and it's just a laugh. It's a really nice community. I'm loving chatting to you all, so thanks for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I will let you leave now, and you can probably join us back in the chat whilst you're building your tanks.
Okay. Night, Dad. Take care. Night all. Thanks for having me, Tom.
Thank you very much. I'm just having a quick cough. There we go. I muted it so that you didn't hear me cough. That was Nope, hang on. No, we're good. That was great. That was a really nice interview. Like I said, I really enjoyed that. It was just nice to have a chat. It was just nice to have a nice chilled chat, you know. But yeah, crazy antics. We do all need to learn from each other. We, all share experience and different skills, learning techniques, different ways of doing things. We've all got different opinions, different everything. So it is really great to share that and learn from each other. I've learned so much from other people. You ask any of the other YouTubers, KB, Hood, the Colonialist, loads of other YouTubers. I've asked them all for help in the past, asked for their opinions on what I should do with certain colonies. In fact, I ask pretty much everyone's opinion on what I should do with certain colonies because I don't know everything. I would never claim to know everything. In fact, I know very little. I know what I know, but there's so much more to know, if you know what I mean. And that was a lot of no's in one sentence. And guess what? I've just seen a male diacammer trying to escape. I'm going to get you, got you, and I'm putting him back in the tank. There, jobs are good in. Male diacammers. I am collecting them because, it was brought to my attention. I did know this already, but it was brought to my attention. I hadn't before that the queen of the gamma gate of my diacammers could well be dead because they are producing quite a few males. It is quite likely. So I am on the lookout for some other male diacammer. If anyone has male diacammer, you're more than willing, like, I would be more than willing to pay for postage or whatever to get some male dyer camera to chuck in there and see what happens. Keep the colony going, because they're going really well. There's loads of workers, as you can see, very strong colony. It would be a shame to let them die out at this point. But I think it's time. We have a duck race. Who's up for a duck race? If you're up for a duck race, start putting numbers in the chat. We currently have 6 people in the chat. So a massive thank you all for watching. We have 5 on YouTube and 1 on Twitch. So if you want to get involved in a duck race, all you need to do is type that magic number. Yeah, that's what I like, Crazy Antics. Thank you very much. I'm loving the involvement as well. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who gets involved in the chat, in the community. Spin it about, sharing it on all your social medias and whatnot, telling everyone about these interviews. We have some amazing interviews coming up in the future as well. And what's the word for it? Like, they're really up for it. You know, it's nice. It's nice the way it's sort of growing. So Katrina, you're gonna take 2 because there's only cool. Here we go. And Katrina's back in the chat, so that's nice. Again, thank you for coming on, Katrina. That was really cool of you. And anyone else that wants to come on, all you got to do is send me a message. You know, I'm happy to have anyone on the show, have a little chat. So we've got Crazy Antics at 5, Katrina at 2, and Mark at 3 currently. Let's put on that. We have Punk Duck in number 4, Dr. Duck number 3, couple of plain ducks, green stripy duck, and purple star duck. Is that purple star? I can't really see. But without further ado, I think we're going to get this duck race underway. Let's get going. Obviously, I have got quite a lot to chat to you about as well. I've got a sort of announcement that I'm going to go over in a minute with my beautiful, amazing community that you all are. But let's get this duck race out of the way first. Punk Duck in number 4 is well ahead at the moment. Ahead of all the other ducks. I do like his haircut, right? When I was about 13, I had a haircut like that. But I didn't quite shave it all off. I had it dyed in. I looked like a badger, basically. I called it my badger haircut. It was awesome. Dr. Duck taking the lead. Waddle, waddle. It just makes me think of that duck song. Duck walked up to a lemonade stand and said to a man running a stand, "Hey, bum, 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 got any grapes?" You know the one, that song. If you haven't heard it, you should look it up. If you have heard it, it'll be in your head for at least an hour now. And coming to the last bit, and it was taken by number 1. Followed by the duck and number 6. That was another good race. Well done to the ducks. These ducks, they train really hard for these duck races. You gotta get to them. Like, it's half of their life is committed to training for these duck races, and the other half is just eating and sleeping. You know, proper athlete, hardcore duck athletes they are. Although they do have day jobs as well, as we know. There's a doctor and a judge and You know, you got to make money as well as being an athlete. There's not much money in being an athlete. I can tell you that from knowledge, experience and knowledge, we could say. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So we got a few things to tell you about. I'm going to start with a nice, difficult. I don't know what the word is. Basically, I'm struggling. Right, my laziest Niger. They're doing everything they should be doing. I told you about it. They had a bit of a die off, but I think it was a generational thing. They're still eating, drinking, doing everything they're meant to do. Still smashing down water like nobody's business. You know, doing really well. But they don't use their outworld anymore. Since they used it as a graveyard, they literally have just stopped going in it. I don't know why. So I've got a bit of a plan. I'll probably do a video about it very soon as well. The plan is do what I did originally to entice them into it, because originally they wouldn't go the entire length of the tube. It was too far for the size of the company. And what I did was I gave them a very small outworld attached to a very small tube at the same height as their like top of their outworld area of their T-shaped formicarium. So they literally had to go like a couple of inches and they were in the outworld section eating, which got them used to going through that tube. I gave a couple of months of them going in and out, and then I moved that, replaced it with a longer tube, which went down into the bigger outworld, and they then carried on using that longer tube because they were used to using the tube looking for food. It worked, but obviously, like I say, over the winter period, and when they've used it as a graveyard after winter, they cleared out their nest, obviously, all the dead through the winter period. They've now stopped using the outward. So I'm probably going to replace it back with the small one at the same height again, move all the feeding into that small outworld, because I'm doing it in the top of the T-shaped formicarium because that's the only place they are. Move it back into the small outworld, entice them back in. I'll probably even give them new tubes as well, because it's always a great opportunity to replace all the tubing. I like to do it once a year or whatever. It just gets a bit grimy on the inside. You know, it's just, you know, you may as well keep it clean if you've got that opportunity to change it all without disturbing the colony or escaping or anything like that. So whilst it's not in use, I'll give them the tube. I'll reattach the other outworld and blah, 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 blah. And hopefully I'll be able to entice them into eating in the outworld again. Because I don't really like doing it in the top of the T-shaped formicarium. There's not a lot of space. And then when you put the feeding towers in, they could actually climb higher than the rim of the outworld area. Like, so if that is like touching, then they've got instant escape. As we were saying earlier, it's not a great thing. I mean, they're only Lacius nigers. They're not the most devastating colony for escaping, but they're still not the sort of colony that you want escaping. You know what I mean? So that's the plan with that, and I'm going to be doing a video about it. It's going to be really super cool, hopefully. Moving on. Yeah, crazy antics. Thank you. They are super stubborn as well. Very, very stubborn. But that's not really a bad thing. I don't want them to move. Like, they're just annoyingly, like, you know what I mean? They just stopped using it. Like, why would you stop? Like, fair enough. You've got a graveyard pile. I've moved the graveyard pile, but they haven't even gone back in to notice it's moved. So, such a great colony, though. They're in there. This would be their second proper year, I think. Yeah, second proper year. And they're well in their hundreds, you know. My daughter, it's her colony. I've obviously done most of the work. It's her colony. And they're just amazing. Absolutely amazing. But she's got a colony of Mesobarbarus as well now, which again is doing really well. Like, it's weird because so many people struggle to get Mesobarbarus going and so on. We've had her, she's had a queen on her own. She's managed to get workers without any of the eggs being eaten, basically, like first time trying, which I didn't even manage to do. And then all the queens got workers, and the colony's doing really well, so that she's fed it and all of that. They say she's a really good ant keeper because she's learned from me, I suppose, and listened to everything, and she listens to everything I say. She's, you know what I mean? She's just so into it, and that she's taking it all in because she's excited to learn about it still, which is really nice. And yeah, she's learning some good skills, which I can talk to you about. So I'm going to skip something and go back and right. So I've started doing a thing where I'm going around to like some youth clubs have asked to hire me out, and I might end up in schools and things like that. But I can go in and take in some of my millipedes, my beetles, and possibly a Lasius niger colony because they're quite hardy. Things like that, and just tell them about what they are, you know, do a really interesting talk, like seminar sort of style. I don't know what word it is for it, but you know what I mean. Little, what's the word that they used? Workshop, that's it, like a little workshop on it. I thought that was really cool. Like someone asked me to do it, and it like sparked us into the idea of actually making it a thing. So now it's an official Ants on the Rock thing that you can hire us out on our website, only in the Dorset area because obviously we can't go UK wide yet. But it was really nice to be asked to come and do that. So I thought, yeah, let's make this a thing and make it available anywhere basically. So we've got like craft section where like we'll do like ant craft or whatever at the same time as doing the talk, just to make it a bit more fun and interactive for younger people. And then we've got like a bioactive build session where we'll provide all the materials for a learning experience. You know, you all get to build your own bioactive terrarium basically and learn how to do it and take it home. You know, those sort of workshop things, because that was the one we got asked if we would come and do a little bioactive terrarium and show off all our insects and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's actually a really cool idea. I'd love to do that and like get kids interested in it. You know, that's a really cool idea. So yeah, we're jumping on that. Brilliant idea. So the person who suggested that, thank you very much. Thank you. And yeah, so I'm going to go back onto the other thing I was going to talk about. A bit of a sensitive subject. I'm going to try and do it diplomatically. So basically, someone out there or a group of people out there don't particularly like me, my YouTube channel, my ideas, they don't like what I'm doing as Ants on a Rock. And it seems they're trying their very, very best to try and destroy me. We get like, I'm not going to go into lots of details, but we get like fake things happening on the website. Like I've had people sign up for the picnic table pretending to be ant shops and things like that, which we know is completely silly because I can track it back. Obviously, there's the fake website. And I get a few screenshots every now and then of people talking about me behind my back. Not nice things, quite unnecessary, I think is the word. It seems like people are trying to make the event look bad, make me look bad, and try and destroy all the work that I'm putting into it. So I've kept quiet for quite a while now, a few months this has been going on, and I've kept really quiet about it all, just kind of letting it do its thing and hoping it will go away. But I've kind of reached a point where I'm fed up with being quiet about it. So I will be naming and shaming everyone at some point if it carries on. I will be taking legal action against the website that's copied me because they've copied us to the point where they've forgotten to change the word in on one part, and it actually says Ants on a Rock, not Ants Rock. That's the point. Like that's how bad the copying is. So we've screenshotted that, and we're going to be taking legal action against that. But quite frankly, I've just had enough of being such a nice person and letting it go. So like, I don't want to sound like, excuse the language, a dickhead, but I'm not going to stand for people like coming in to any of my social media and trying to ruin me in any way, steal my viewers, mess with my business, mess with what I'm trying to do, because I'm trying to do a good thing, put the community together and kind of help everything along. And it seems that people don't really like that, possibly out of jealousy. I don't know. It might just be they don't like me. I don't particularly care, but I'll stop it one way or another. You might notice quite a few people get booted and blocked from the chats and streams in the coming weeks, because we do know a few of the people who have been talking about me. Like I say, I've got screenshots and stuff. So we'll wait and see what happens. But I just wanted to put this out there that I'm not going to let it keep going. Everyone will just be getting blocked. I'm going to be doing my own thing. You can do your own thing, and we'll just stay completely separate. But I won't keep standing for people trying to mess with me. It's the problem is, it's not, they're just not just messing with me now, but they're imitating other ant shops, and that's, you know, that's involving other people. What? It's just unnecessary. So I feel it's got to the point now, something really does have to be done. So yeah. 8 legs, 4 wheels, thank you for coming back, and welcome. I'm just reading back the chat. Crazy antics, it's your intellectual property, so you have good footage for. Yeah, exactly. I've got I've spoken to their website creator, I've spoken to my website creator, I've spoken to my solicitor, and we've actually got a really strong case against it because it's blatant plagiarism. The fact that they forgot to change some of the wording and have actually used my brand name on them, things like that, you know, we've got a very strong case against it. So that's not really an issue. Like I say, the website isn't the issue, but their website isn't the issue, because that's like so small and silly, it's just ridiculous, if you know what I mean. It's everything else that's happening on top of it, particularly the fact that people are trying to like talk bad about the event and things like that. I've worked really hard on the event, and you know what I mean. We have people which are deliberately trying to take people away from these chat shows and things like that. It's just, like I say, I've been targeted. I don't know why, but I'm going to put a stop to it, because I've been too nice, and I'm not usually this nice. If it was in the weightlifting world, like, you would have got a smack by now, you know. That's kind of, yeah. But yeah, we'll move on from this downward subject. I am very sorry to bring that up in an episode. I hate having to talk down about anyone or anything. You know that. I just try and do my best for the community, but I'm not gonna keep being nice. Exactly, all ants. You know. But look, I'm not a violent person. I do boxing and strongman and everything else that I do, but I'm not a violent person. I wouldn't ever resort to violence. There's no need. I can destroy everyone intellectually, I'm pretty sure. Not intellectually, but, you know, properly, through the proper channels. There's ways to go about it rather than using violence these days. Although I wouldn't be avert to giving someone a smack on the nose if it came to it. But anyways, moving on, because we don't want to stay on this downward subject. I hate being a downward. It's one of the things I try to avoid on these streams, is going down. So let's get some energy flowing. Let's enjoy ourselves again. I've got several more things to talk to you about. Who remembers my scorpion? My amazing scorpion that I love to bits, and he's absolutely amazing. And yeah, so he still hasn't come out. I don't know what to do. When I looked like 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago? I lifted up his log, and he was really still and curled up a little bit, but then he moved, and I was like, oh, cool. I put the log back down, and I didn't do anything, you know. He still hasn't come out to eat or drink or anything. Should I be worried? Anyone in there in the chat know much about scorpions? Should I be worried about him not coming? It's been, I know they don't come out very often anyway, but it's been probably 2 or 3 months since I've seen him, or any activity that he's come out. I put in are still. So he's He's definitely eating. I am concerned now, even though he's still moving. I am concerned. It is definitely a he. It's not a she that could be nesting. I think he's a full-size adult as well, so there's no need for him to be molting. I think he's going to be passing very soon. If he does pass, I'll be so sad. I will be replacing him because I love this scorpion, and I will be getting another one. But I'll be so sad if he does pass. It would suck. It would suck. Oh, sorry for my cough. I'm just going to have a sip of my drink. You haven't noticed, but I am eating like a whole chocolate cake whilst hang on. 8 legs. If it's been 2 to 3 months, I will consider it. He's not taken any food or water. I did check, like I said, about 2 weeks ago, and he moved his claws and his tail kind of sprung back up to its normal position when I lifted his log. I've never lifted his hide before, never. So I lifted it and he moved and he seemed fine. So I put the log back down rather. Like, I didn't sit there watching him for ages, but he definitely moved, you know. But yeah, he hasn't taken any food or water for quite a while. I just gotta put this on. This is my cake. I'm eating a cake. Not that anyone really cares, but I'm on a good diet. Strongman diet is definitely the best type of diet because you have to just eat and eat and eat. Like that's basically empty calories. I'm just gonna get carbs from that, but I've had loads of protein and I'll have another protein shake when I get to it. But that's just like pure carbs and goodness. Sounds like he's either prepping to molt, has molted, or worst case is possibly on the way out, sadly. Yeah. Other things you can try is to raise humidity and temperature and see if that. Okay, I'll literally do that tonight. I'll bring the temperature up slightly and put some extra water in the tank and see how that goes. I have been raising the humidity routinely over the last couple of months because I did think that might have been it because it was a little bit dry at one point. But like I put like 6 liters into the bottom of the tank at one point. I really surprised. It's quite a large tank, to be fair. What species is the Asian forest species? I know there's 2 technically which they class as the Asian forest. I cannot remember which one. I think it's the one which starts with S. Now, again, I'm really bad with Latin names. To be honest, I think because he is such a large size, like I say, I think he's full size adult. He is probably on his way out, which will be a massive shame. It will suck, but I'll have to get another one. I might get something slightly different, maybe an emperor, but again, I might look more different. I don't know. It's been a real pleasure keeping a scorpion. I don't see him often. I've never handled him, and I never bother him, but I really do enjoy it. There's more than 2, but it's like I think it's the Spiniffer one, if that's the correct pronunciation of it. Yeah, it's all right for legs. 8 legs, sorry, it happens. It's one of those things. Like it always sucks, but I'm not gonna get too down about it. We'll have a little quiz in a minute. Who fancies a little quiz? So I've got just a few questions, and they're all kind of based around insects. So without looking on your phones, which hopefully you're using to watch this episode, but some of you will be using computers and tellies as well. So without using your phones, let's just see. Thank you for coming on, 8 legs. We'll see you later. Let's see how we do on a little quizzy quiz. I shall be Quizmaster Ants on the Rock once again. So, for anyone in the chat that wants to try and answer this, what percentage of the species in the world, out of every species, like animals, whatever, are insects? What percentage of all species in the world are insects? 40%, 60%, or 80%? 80%. Well done, Ted. All about ants. Sorry, buddy. I use your real name. Yeah, well done, Katrina. It's 80%. Well done, everybody. 90. Yeah, I'll say 90. But 80% of the world's whatever's are insects. That's a lot. Right. So, which order of insects contains the most species? I thought it was ants, but I was wrong. Now, these bullet ants, the dire camo in front of you, have been non-stop on those roaches. So they're brilliant to watch because they just tear it apart. I'm going to be releasing a short video on them very soon. I was sat here the other night and the wife was sat next to me and she was like, "Oh, look at that," and she filmed loads for me. So we'll be putting that together as soon as I get round to it. You know how busy I am. It's been non-stop as always. I would try and tell you about everything I do, but I think none of you would quite understand the way I explain it. I'm not very good at explaining things, as we know. Everything in my head works, but actually getting it out and getting it onto paper is always where I struggle. It's where I've always struggled. It's part of dyslexia and whatever, or my Asperger's. I can't actually remember. So this question again: which order of insects contains the most species? It is the beetle. Well done, Crazy Antics. It is beetles. See, I thought it was ants, but it's beetles. There's like 30,000, 50,000, stupid amounts of beetles. Like, I don't think you'd ever learn them all. If you learned them all, you'd be a very smart person. Okay, right. Here we go. What is the only insect that can turn its head? Now, this is an interesting one, and it's quite obvious when you think of it. The only insect that can turn its head. It is the mantis. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. You know, like I'm just gonna. I want to see if I do this one, turn it right down. We've got kind of quizzy music. Yeah, we can have this in the background of the quiz, can't we? I think it works. I'm going to go with it for now. And yeah, it was the praying mantis. Absolutely brilliant. I think you got. Are you guys cheating? If you're using your phone, it's fine, but I don't know. You're getting them all right. Let's see if there's a really hard one that you're not going to get right. Problem is, the hard ones I can barely pronounce. What? No, we won't do that one because again, I can't pronounce it. Right, the term computer bug was first used in the 1940s when what sort of insect caused an error when it was trapped inside computer hardware? Again, I'll read that question again, right? The term computer bug was first used in the 1940s. What sort of insect caused a computer error by being trapped inside of it? Termites, no. Roach, no. A couple more guesses. It was moss. Well done all about ants. It was moss. A moth was trapped inside of the computer, causing absolute havoc. Now bear in mind, this was 1940s. Their computers were a little bit slower than ours, or bigger. They weren't very good computers, were they? Yeah, crazy antics. Moth. What you imagine getting them, like, what is going? They weren't there. They'd be turning it off and on again and blowing on it. That was as good as it got back then. Right. Which insect is the symbol for female potency? That's a weird one, isn't it? It's not the butterfly. Close though. The symbol for female potency. I've seen it on quite a few pendants and things like that. Bracelets. Couple more seconds. Is the honey, which I thought was quite nice actually. Which insects are the cause of the human sleeping sickness? I'm going to have trouble pronouncing this, but if you can type it. Crazy antics. The last one was honeybee, was the symbol for female potency. Which, like I said, I thought was quite nice, really. I've seen it on bracelets and stuff, now it kind of makes sense. The next question was, which insects are the cause of the human sleeping sickness? It was a fly. Well done, that was well found. It was a very particular type of fly that I can't really pronounce because it's T-S-E-T-S-E. That's not even a word. I'm sure that's not a word. That's tsetse flies. I'm not sure, but it was a fly. We're going to go with fly. We're going to have two more questions. Why do crickets rub their legs together? It's something they all do, and they're really loud and annoying sometimes. Vibrations, close. They're making vibrations and a sound for the reason of trying to find a mate. They're trying to draw in a mate and attract. So I think it's like the loudest chirp wins, or whatever. Which is probably how I got my wife. Rubbing my legs together and causing a scratchy sound. That doesn't even make sense. Like, can you imagine putting up with me 24/7? You gotta give it to my wife, because I'm like this all the time. I come up with random jokes that make no sense, to the point where I say things to my kids and they don't even take me seriously anymore. They just look at me like, "Shut up, Daddy. Just stop." It's like, you've learned too well, because they know I just talk complete rubbish 90% of the time. Joke with them, and like they ask me a serious question like, "Oh, Daddy, can you help me do my homework?" I'll just look at them and go, "No, of course not. Why would I want to do your homework?" I'll walk off, and then 2 minutes later I'll come back and go, "I got you." But they don't even fall for that anymore. They literally just like look at me and like, Come on, Daddy. It's like, oh, okay. Stop. I'll stop messing about. Right. Oh dear. But I've got a wicked sense of humour, right? So we have this rubber spider, and this is one that you can all use. Use it on your partners, your kids. Brilliant. Take it, use it, treasure it, spread it about, right? Get a rubber spider and attach a bit of cotton to it. And I put it in the cupboard where we get our cups of tea from. And I attached the other end of the string to the cupboard door. So when she opened the cupboard door, out came this spider. She screamed and ran. Oh, it was amazing. That's the sort of thing that I do. I say my wife puts up with a lot, bless her. There's insects everywhere and practical jokes, and oh dear, it was great fun, isn't it? Great fun. You gotta have fun in life. She doesn't mind. Well, she doesn't like it when I spray her with water. I've learned not to do that, and like there's a few things that I've learned you don't do. You don't squirt her with water. You don't ruffle the hair. Ruffling the hair on a woman's like a death sentence, apparently. Yeah, crazy antics, brilliant, isn't it? It was amazing. Me and my middle daughter, the one which does the ants, we were doing it together. We set it up, and that was brilliant. But we do all sorts of practical jokes. I can't remember them now. The other day, I managed to get a sticker on the back of one of them, and they didn't notice for hours. It was just like, "You smell" or something like that. For hours, they were walking about. Brilliant. Ever since they were young, I always say, "Oh, you smell." That's sort of a family joke, is that you smell. They don't really do, can they? They say it back. Now they say, "Oh yeah, we do smell. Smell nice, of roses." But yeah, all right, whatever. You've learned, but I've learned again. I'll be like, "Yeah, roses that are horses poop on." They're like, "No." Gotta get one up on the day the kids beat me in anything, I will give up. Bless them. But I don't let them win easily. The minute they think they can win is the minute they've got you. They've got you good. Oh, bless them. I do love my kids. I love my family very much. As much as I mess with them and talk about them like that, I do love them. It's great fun. I do recommend everyone has kids at some point, really. As much as I say, don't have kids, just do have kids. Just know what you're getting yourself in for. Do it when you're ready. I don't know. I'm not going to give you life advice. You know me. I really don't. I don't do life advice, especially at the moment. My life advice would be try not to die in your sleep. It's always a good start. I have got some brilliant advice actually. This is a piece of advice that I've taken myself, and I do it every night before I go to bed. I think it's really important. Make sure you say something either intellectual or insulting, right? Because if you die in your sleep, you could get that written. That's like your last words could be written on your gravestone. So say something like really intellectual or something really funny and insulting that you want on your gravestone. That's my piece of advice to anyone. It's more good than it's horrible. You never know. So, apart from that, I don't really do life advice for a good reason. Now, we're heading towards the end of the show, but I do have a question for the community out there. Oh, and we do have one more quiz question, so we'll do that quickly before I ask the community question. What is the loudest insect in the world? Does anyone know the loudest insect in the world? I don't think I can pronounce it properly. It is Crazy Antics and Katrina. Well done. It's good that you answered it correctly because now I don't have to say what it was. I shall just pop it up on the screen like that so everyone else can see your answer. Well done. And well done. That was completely right. Well done. That was a great little quiz, actually. I do enjoy the quizzes, and a massive thank you again to Katrina for suggesting that we do a quiz tonight. Always good fun. Always great fun. We're going to do some riddles very soon. I've been collecting some good riddles to go through with you. But I just looked back up and all about ants. Yes. Yes. I'm not going to say it, but yes. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right. So my question to my community, asking you for a bit of help because I know you're absolutely amazing. Now, if you can do this for me within, can we say 2 episodes time? Can you just have a think what your opinion is on keeping worker ants without the queen? Now, there's several sets out there that you can buy, and they will provide you just with workers or that sort of scenario. Now, I don't want answers now. Just have a think about it. Do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? Do you not really care? Do you think it's good for educational purposes? What's your kind of view? You know, have a little think. Because it's one of those subjects I can't really put my finger on. I would prefer every colony to have a queen and be a full functioning colony. But then if it's not the right scenario, then you know what I mean? Like, yeah, have a think. And we'll say in 2 episodes time, we'll come back and we'll have a little chat about it. You can come on the stream if you want, or we'll just chat in the chat and, you know, have a really in-depth conversation about this because I think it's something that I'd like to explore a little bit further, and I'd really like to feel learn off other people and get your opinions and advice on it because I don't know how I feel about it really. I'm very mixed still. But apart from that, I think we're almost done for the night. Is there anything else that I can do for anybody? Has anyone got any problems? Has anyone got any questions? Is there anything I can do for anybody here in the community tonight, or anyone watching this in the future, listening to it on Spotify? You're always more than welcome to message me. But if there's anything right now, please do let me know, and I will do it before we end the show. I am your humble servant. It's definitely been nice to have that little background music going. It might be something we do a little bit more during the chat show section, not the interview sections, because I like to keep them a little bit more focused on the interview. But it's nice to have a little bit of background music. Again, I will be interviewing my good friend Tim, who is the musician, provided us with some of the music. I will be using that again in some of the streams soon. He will be coming on again during the chat show section, not the interview section. Just for a general chat about his new album that he's got coming out, just because, I don't know, I thought it was quite interesting. And he likes the channel and he watches a lot of my streams later on. He never gets to watch it live because he's in another country most of the time, touring or whatever like that. So I thought, you know, have him on, we'll have a little chat about his album. If you enjoy the music, you know where it is. But yeah, why not? It's something a little bit different. I've also got a friend who's like quite a big time actor and doing some big parts now. So I might actually have him come on in the later part of the show one night just to talk about the films that he's involved in and how cool it is to be an actor, really. I thought it was pretty cool. So I thought it'd be cool to share with you in the sort of less structured part of the stream, as we say, but there will always be that, or as much as I can be, there will be that interview section at the start, which will be related to ants and insects. We will try and keep it as insect based as possible, but you know what it gets like in the later sections of the show. It can get a little bit wild, it can get a little bit random. Thank you very much for that comment, Crazy Antics. It's been a good stream. I've really enjoyed this one. I enjoy them all, as you know. I really enjoy them all. And I'm not going to stop doing them. I'm just going to keep rolling out every Wednesday and Sunday. Don't forget to invite your friends. Tell them to come join into the chat. Join the community. And, you know, strengthen the community. I really want to see ant keeping like everywhere, just normalized, you know. You don't even see ant formicariums in a big pet shop like Pets at Home. They've got fish tanks, they've got sea monkeys. You don't see ant stuff. You know, let's make this more nice, let's make it bigger. Invite your friends and show how awesome the community can be. All about ants, that's pretty cool. I'm on like 508 now if there's a new one. 500 and something. Really cool. A massive thank you to all the subscribers. Obviously, anyone watching the show is, I can't thank you enough. It really does mean a lot to me that everyone signs in and listens to me, communicates with me, and supports me quite obviously. It's been an absolutely amazing journey. I can't thank you enough. Yeah, Crazy Antics, that's brilliant. Like that's kind of what I was hoping. Like it would be, you know, a routine thing. Flick that on, have a listen whilst you're, like you say, doing your ant maintenance or having your evening supper or something. You know, it's that sort of thing. Katrina is never apologise for tech issues, especially with me, because you know what these streams have been like. We've had black and white pictures at some point, and there's going to be a live camera feed. Never apologise. Like, you've been amazing, and it was really enjoyable having you on. And before we do go, I want to say a massive thank you to the whole community for signing on and watching and being amazing and supporting me. But I do want to say a massive super thank you to my Patreon supporters. We currently have Jason, Kevin, Stacey, and Katrina all supporting me through Patreon. And it's really means a lot to me that you would support me in that way as well. All the money gets pumped straight back into making these streams better for you, the technology behind it, and so on and so forth. So it's really cool that you've like helped in that way. If anyone else is interested, obviously you can check out my Patreon links. It's just £3 to support me, £3 a month. So it's not a massive donation. It's just enough to keep adding into the pot to one day we're going to increase the computer power to get more effects on the background and things like that. It won't freeze as much. We want sound effects, better lighting, proper green screen. It's all going, but yeah, it's coming. So a massive thank you to all of them for being absolutely amazing. And again, a massive thank you to Answer for supporting as well. Just that showing that he supports. Thank you to everyone. I think I've said thank you enough times, but I'll say another massive thank you because I do love you. I love coming on there, and let's keep it going. So don't forget to invite some friends. Tell everyone about it. Tell everyone how fun the random chat bit can be, and then we can entice them into the ants. That way, yeah, I don't know. But right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you all for signing in. It's been absolutely amazing. This has been another great episode 10 of the Pit Table Chat Show. I shall see you all again very soon. We've got some videos coming out this week, and if not, I will see you on Sunday for our next episode. Don't forget, if you've got a message for me or anything in the meantime, you can find me on all my social media platforms. Message me anytime and I will get back to you as soon as I get a second. Thank you very much, Katrina. That really means a lot. And have fun adding your vines. That's always a fun one. So without further ado, I'm going to let you go. But as always for me, I'll see you again soon, Ant fans. Thank you.